Welcome back to Local 4 Live. The Detroit Tigers have hit the midway point of the 2025 season. It's safe to say it's been a fun season. While even the most optimistic of fans wouldn't have predicted the Tigers would be this good, they became the first team to 50 wins on Tuesday night and have by far the biggest division lead of any MLB team right now. We've got a full breakdown of the team's performance right now over on some website we like to call clickondetroit.com. Written by a guy that we call the go-to, the EP, the resident Tigers expert, Derek Hutchinson. Derek, thank you for joining us here.
What's up, Nick?
In Nick's Nook. That's what we're
Nick's
working.
Nook. Nice. I like it. It's very cozy.
Okay, so going off of last season, I remember being outside, standing with you, right, for opening, for going into the postseason. There was so much energy behind the Tigers. Do you think some of that kind of kickstarted this season as well?
Yeah, I think it carried over. The sentiment, I feel like nationally was sort of like, well, the Tigers got hot. They were a cute story, but this year there's no way they can do it over a full season. And now it's like, well, they've been doing it for 85 games here, and at what point do you just have to buy into it because they've been doing it for so long? So, yeah, I think that sort of made them believe, and now they've just carried it into a full season.
So what do you think are some of the highlights in terms of the expectations that we've exceeded? There's a lot of numbers there, and there's a lot of people who say, but what's the key takeaway for you?
Yeah, it's the offense and how well-balanced it is. I think everybody knew the pitching staff was going to be great with Skubal and Flaherty and all their young pitchers. But to have an offense where every guy has a role and they know where they fit into the whole offensive scheme, and then they just produce in those moments.
It's the definition of having a deep bench.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. AJ Hinch, if you're on this roster, you are a starter because you're going to get into the game at some point. You know when you're going to be called on in what situation, and AJ Hinch just does such a good job of moving those chess pieces and playing them in the right spots.
Do we have any Achilles heels? Do we have any issues that we should work on?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but it honestly feels like the back
Don't
end of
jinx it.
The back end of the starting rotation right now is a little bit questionable, partially because of injuries, maybe a little bit of underperformance, but really the Tigers haven't had like a losing streak. They've only lost 3 games a couple times. And when you don't lose a lot of games in a row, it's really difficult for teams to make up ground on you.
Okay, All-Star game coming up. Who's playing? What do you think?
I think the Tigers are going to get 4, I'm going to say. Yeah, I mean, they have probably as many as 7 guys who are under consideration, but Gleyber Torres is going to be in. Derek Skubal is obviously going to be in, you know. But it's the dark horses like Zach McKinstry or Javi Baez. Can those dudes get in who are kind of underappreciated across the game, but who have been key pieces in what the Tigers have done this year?
Was it Javi that got to have his son do the first pitch of the last game? That was pretty cool.
That was pretty awesome. It's funny how much different of a Javi we've gotten this year with him moving to center field and looking more comfortable and being healthy. Makes a big difference.
All right, so looking towards the second half of the season then, do we want to start talking postseason, or is it too soon to put those
it's not
plays?
too soon.
No, okay.
Yeah, we can talk postseason. When you're at 11 and a half games up in their division, it would be wrong to not enjoy this and be like, okay, what are we looking at for the playoffs? So, I mean, without trying to jinx anything, you're looking at the Yankees, you're looking at the Astros, and you're saying, can the Tigers get a first round bye? You know, can they stay out of that dangerous best 2 out of 3 series, and can they get a home series in a potential ALCS? So,
is there a pennant in the future?
There very well could be. They're the favorite, I would say. They have the best record in the league. They've been the most consistent team. And who would want to play the Tigers in the playoffs when you know you're seeing Tarek Skubal at least one of those games? So they're set up really well. Yep.
What do you think Verlander is thinking nowadays?
I should have came back. The Giants aren't looking as good as the Tigers right now. Yeah.
How much fun has it been for you? Because you've been following them forever, right? And this is, there are bandwagon fans, and there are those who stick with it no matter what. That's you.
The sun is always shining. I hear birds chirping at all times of the day. I mean, it's been a long time. And the thing about baseball is that when your team is bad, you feel it because it's 162 games. It's every night in the summer. And it's just painful to watch bad baseball. And it's been
especially in 97-degree heat, too.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been a decade of that. So, like, the last run in last season was so rewarding. This year is even better because you know that you've got a good team and, like, you're going to enjoy it over the long haul. So, more than any other sport, having a good baseball team, I think, is just super rewarding. Yeah.
You know what's also been fun, too, is to see the entire city lift up. You know, the Lions, obviously, where they're at. Tigers now. Wings, we're crossing our fingers. There's a lot of question marks surrounding them and what Steve and the team are doing there. I don't know what we can do.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any insight.
On the wings?
Yeah.
The clock's ticking. Heisman's been here for a long time. But like you said, all they need to do is show a little bit of life, because look at the Lions fans, how well they've been traveling.
That's fair.
Look at the scene at Comerica Park last night on national TV. I mean, that was electric. So if the Wings just show you a little bit, the fans are going to show up. I mean, this is a hockey town. Yeah. So, he's got to have an active offseason. It's been a little underwhelming the last few years. It's really hard to see the vision. You can't just draft well in hockey. Like, you need to be able to make some moves to bring in some proven talent. So while drafting well is good, it's good for the pipeline. You need to also be able to supplement that.
I got to talk to AJ about building that bench.
Yeah. Maybe you should have a little bit of a discussion with AJ. Yeah.
All right, Jared. Thanks for coming in, man. Of
course.
Welcome to the Nook.
The Nook is awesome.
I love it.
Anytime.
All right, thanks.